I'd like to say praise the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and peace to everyone here in the name of Jesus. We're going to get right into today's lesson, which is titled The Old and New Testament, the Death of the Testator. The Old and New Testament, the Death of the Testator. And, this lesson is pretty basic, because when you talk to people and you start showing them the Bible and what the Bible is saying about the Lord, some people like to run and say, oh, well, that's the Old Testament. If you're in the Old Testament showing them something, or this is the New Testament. And I like to ask people, well, what is a testament? First find out what a testament is before you go throwing something in the garbage, because it wouldn't make any sense if you're throwing away something good and you don't even know what a testament is in the first place. A testament just is a covenant. We're going to show today which covenant are you living up under. The Old Testament or the Old Covenant is called old for a reason, and so is the New Testament or the New Covenant. And it has nothing to do with any laws of God. It don't mean, hey, throw the laws away because they were printed in the old, and a lot of people just try to get out of the law because it didn't reprint everything in the New Testament. Well, I ask people that question as well. I've never read a book where, so to speak, chapter 2 said the exact same thing chapter 1 did. It wouldn't make no sense to have a chapter 2 if it said exactly word for word what chapter 1 just already told you. But chapter 2 will refer you back to 1, right? Stuff you already read about, stuff that happened. Hey, chapter 2 going to reiterate a lot of that stuff, but not word for word. So that's what we're going to look at today. We're going to look at what is a testament, the Old and the New Testament, the death of the testator. We're going to start in Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, and see, what exactly do God require of people, of his service, period. Ecclesiastes 12 and 1 verse 13. Go ahead when you get there.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
See, that's the conclusion of mankind, period. Fear God and keep his commandments. This is the what kind of duty of man? The whole duty. It ain't half a duty. It ain't pick out what you want to do duty. It's the whole duty. Fear God, keep his commandments. Not throw away what you don't like or you don't want to do and keep what you do want to do. That ain't how God operates. You're either going to keep them all or attempt to keep them all, or you just really wasting your time. Let's go to Psalm, the 19th chapter, real quick. And we want to walk it down for those that want to think just because somebody, called the Old Testament old, that is no more good. Because something says old, don't mean that it's ready to be tossed in the garbage and it's no good no more. Find out what is it talking about is old. What's old? What's new? That's what we want to check out today. To see what's old, what's under the old covenant that might have been temporarily in place under the Old Testament, and we're going to see what replaced it in the New Testament, which is the same thing. Same exact thing, it's just, hey, we'll take a look at it later on in this lesson. Psalm 19, and pick it up in verse 7 when you get there, brother.
The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple.
Mm-hmm.
The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoice in the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes.
The law of the Lord is perfect. But so much for somebody saying, throw away the laws and you ain't got to keep them no more. Why would you keep something that's perfect? Why would you throw away something that's perfect? If it's something that you're told about that's perfect, why would you want to get rid of those anyway? The law of the Lord, there's nothing wrong with. We still need to perfect even in this day. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal. What's wrong with those laws? You don't think the world would be a better place to live in if everybody, converted into these laws and kept them? Sure it would. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. Verse 9.
The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever.
The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring for how long?
Forever.
Forever. So people, that think that there's no reason to fear the Lord, hey, forever is forever. There is a reason to fear the Lord even today. Why? Because there's a thing coming that the Lord is going to bring called the lake of fire. So that is something to be fearful of. Because anybody walking around is doing is just hoping. We hoping that we make it into God's kingdom. Nobody know for sure you're going to walk into them golden gates. We all hoping. So yeah, there's plenty of room for fearing the Lord. The fear of the Lord is clean and enduring forever. Go ahead.
The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether.
Okay, skip down and pick it up in verse 11 and go ahead.
Moreover, by them is thy servant warned.
See, moreover, by them is the servant warned. We warned by the laws of God. That, hey, if you keep them, you get a reward. If you don't keep them, hey, you being warned. You being warned that it's something, further down the road for you. So moreover, by them is thy servant warned, and what else?
And in keeping of them, there is great reward.
In keeping of them, there is great reward. There's nothing wrong with keeping God's word. Whether it's the dietary law, whether it's the Sabbath day, whether it's whatever it is, there's nothing wrong with it. We come down here, I'm sure everybody traveled from somewhere to this morning. If people can drive and clutter up the highways and streets early this Sabbath morning to worship something or celebrate something, it probably could wait, but why not? Why they can't do it to keep the Lord's Sabbath day? Today is the Lord's Sabbath day. That comes first, more so than anything else. But people out in the groves to celebrate. It's a celebration today. That can all wait till after the Sabbath. But as far as keeping the Sabbath, you don't see people in the groves like that coming out to celebrate the Sabbath. Like the Lord commanded us to. That's why He letting us know, hey, your servant, hey, moreover by these laws is the servant warned. And keeping them is a great reward. That's what we all hoping for. A great reward in the end. If we're not doing all this for vain. We want the Lord's reward. I'm going to throw a couple in here. We're going to go to 2 Timothy 3 next. Second Timothy 3, we're going to read a couple in here, verse 14 through 17. 2 Timothy 3, 14 through 17. When you get there, brother, go ahead.
But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned, and hast seen assured of, and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them, and that from a child thou hast known the Holy Scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith which is in Christ Jesus.
He said, Paul is telling Timothy, that continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and hast been assured of. Continue in these things. You've been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned. Back then, Paul letting them know, hey, you done got this straight from the horse's mouth, so continue in this. And that from a child thou hast known the Holy Scriptures, which is what? He's talking about the Old Testament. There wasn't no New Testament when this letter was written. He said, from a child thou hast known the Holy Scriptures, which are able to do what? Make thee wise. Giving you some knowledge unto what? Salvation through faith, which is Jesus Christ. And yeah, all of that was done through the Holy Scriptures. That's the only Bible that they had. So yeah, you were able to save your soul just with the Holy Scriptures. The New Testament for us is just a bonus. But see, people, you know, they get to read in the Old Testament and see what the real deal is. They like to throw that in the garbage. We don't want to do none of that. We just want to keep the New Testament like the New Testament is different, but you look around, people don't even keep what's in the New Testament. They just pick and choose what they want to keep. Not understanding that this whole book is a Bible, the Word of God. And all of it is good. But go ahead, verse 16, it's going to tell us that.
All scripture is given by inspiration of God
Mm-hmm.
and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness.
See, all scripture is given by inspiration of God. It's profitable for doctrine, reproof, correction, for instruction in righteousness. If people get so overzealous, they think you start reading stuff out the Bible, and hey, you think you somebody. You know, you think you somebody in the world and you judging somebody. But what is this saying if his scripture is good for doctrine or reproof or correction or instruction? If somebody's doing something wrong, hey, you just let them know, hey, that's wrong. It's up to the individual if you want to correct yourself. I can't correct nobody from doing their wrongs. I have a hard time trying to fight to keep from doing things that my body want to do wrong. But it is here for that, to show somebody a light so they can be guided into God's kingdom. Verse 17.
That the man of God may be perfect.
That the man of God may be what?
Perfect.
Perfect. So all this scripture that's in here that's inspired by God is able to make a man perfect. A man of God perfect. What you got to do it. You can't just walk around and just say, I love Jesus and thank Jesus and throw away half a book and all of that. You got to walk the walk as well. That the man of God may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works. We're going to go back to Genesis now, 17. We're just going to start walking this covenant down. See where this covenant started. We're going to walk it all the way down to see if we can get a good idea of what this covenant is all about. What the New Testament is all about. What the Old Testament is all about. What do that really mean? Is it books in the Bible or is it something else? That's what we're going to take a look at today. Because the Testament is more than just a book in the Bible. Or chapters of the Bible. It has a greater meaning than that. Genesis 17, and we're going to pick it up at verse 1 when you get there, brother.
And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty God. Walk before me and be thou perfect. Okay, so when Abram was 99 years old, the Lord appeared to Abram and told him, I'm the Almighty God. Walk before me and be thou perfect. This was a start of a covenant. And just to explain what a covenant is between two parties or two people that agree upon something, and they make a vow upon that, and it's to be kept among both parties. So he's gonna do this with Abram. Go ahead, he's gonna tell him verse 2. And I will make my covenant between me and thee, and will multiply thee exceedingly. So he said, I'm gonna make my covenant between me and thee. He ain't promised nobody else this except for Abraham. That hey, my covenant gonna be between me and thee. I'm gonna kick everything off right here, and I'm gonna let you in on what the whole plan is. Verse 3. And Abram fell on his face, and God talked with him, saying, As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Mm-hmm. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham. For a father of many nations have I made thee, and I will make thee exceedingly fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. He's letting Abraham know that, hey, you're going to be a great man. There's going to be you're going to be a father of many nations, of many nationalities. Which he is. Go ahead, verse 7. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and thy seed after thee, in their generations, for an everlasting covenant, to be a God unto thee, and to thy seed after thee. Okay, so he said, I'm going to establish my covenant between me and thee, and thy seed after thee, and their generations,
for an everlasting covenant to be a God unto thee and to thy seed after thee. We let Abraham know, hey, this thing gonna go down from generation to generation. You ain't tell him, hey, later on it's gonna change and the Romans gonna take over. He said, no, this thing I'm finna settle with you right now is gonna be everlasting. It's not gonna go away. Go ahead, verse 8.
And I will give unto thee and to thy seed after thee the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession, and I will be their God.
Mm-hmm.
And God said unto Abraham, thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore thou and thy seed after thee in their
He
generations.
said, hey, you and your seed, y'all gonna have to keep this covenant. But he gonna give them the stipulations. Because again, it's an agreement with two people. So he gonna lay the rules on the table and let Abraham know what he needs to do to apply for this covenant. Go ahead.
This is my covenant, which ye shall keep between me and you and thy seed after thee. Every man child among you shall be circumcised.
Mm-hmm.
And ye shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a token of the covenant betwixt me and you.
Okay, so we letting them know, hey, this is gonna have to be something done on your end to show that you want to be willing to be part of this covenant. You know, the male's gonna have to be circumcised. Before this, it wasn't no such thing as circumcision. But he letting Abraham know, hey, right now, I'm gonna give you the rules and the guidelines, and if you're gonna be a part of this covenant, this is what you're gonna have to do. You know, you're gonna have to circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and every man child gonna have to be circumcised to be a token of the covenant. So when the Lord look down, he see, hey, whoever's circumcised, hey, they want to be a part of this covenant. Yeah, something that the world threw out the window nowadays. That's something that just is obsolete. They don't believe in that. But they still want to claim that they part of this covenant. How? You know, but go ahead.
And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you. Every man child in your generations, he that is born in the house or bought with money of any stranger, which is not of thy seed.
He said, hey, whether it's your seed or not, if they're within your house, they're going to have to get cut. They're going to be circumcised no matter what. So it didn't matter that it was just for Abraham and his seed. It was for anybody. Any man that was in your house, if they're going to be part of your household, hey, you better cut them. You know, he said it don't matter. You know, if they born in your house or if they bought with money of any stranger, which is not of your seed, go ahead.
He that is born in thy house, and he that is bought with thy money, must needs be circumcised, and my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant.
Exactly. My covenant going to be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. Go ahead.
And the uncircumcised man child, whose flesh of his foreskin is not circumcised, that soul shall be cut off from his people. Ye have broken my covenant.
See, here we go. You know, again, he said, letting you know, if you are uncircumcised, you done broke the covenant. You done broke the covenant, and that soul shall be cut off from his people. He have broken my covenant. But for somebody to go run down in the New Testament, and this is God talking to Abraham, letting him know, hey, this is going to be a deal forever. And somebody run down and Paul's writing somewhere and start twisting up something about you don't have to be circumcised. How Paul going to change it? This is God dealing with Abraham directly. Letting them know, say, hey, this is going to be a token of this covenant everlasting. So Paul can't come along a few hundred years later and say, hey, you don't have to do that no more. That don't make sense. How can it be everlasting then? Skip down and pick it up in verse 19.
And God said, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac, and I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him.
Okay, so God, he says, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac. You know, because this is the order that God chose to go through. This wasn't Abraham's firstborn son, but this is the son that God chose that this covenant is going to go through. It can only go through one particular person out of the bloodline. So yeah, we know that Ishmael was born first, but that's not who the Lord made his covenant with. He made his covenant, and he's letting them know I'm making it with Isaac. And I will establish my covenant with him for how long? An everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him. Because that's exactly what he did. I threw another one in there. We're going to go to Genesis 26 real quick and just take a look at how the Lord did indeed do exactly what he said. He followed this covenant to the T, and it came on down through the bloodline that he chose to come through, like he told Abraham, I'm gonna make you the father of many nations. Which again, that covenant is coming down through many nations that came out of Abraham. Genesis 26, and we're gonna pick it up at verse. I want to bring Isaac into this. Let's pick it up. Let's pick it up at verse 1. I just want to bring Isaac into it. Go ahead, verse 1.
And there was a famine in the land, besides the first famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went unto Abimelech, king of the Philistines, unto Gerar.
Okay, so Isaac, it was a famine in the land, and Isaac went unto Abimelech, king of the Philistines, unto Gerar. Sit down and pick it up at verse 4, because the Lord started talking to Isaac. Let's pick it up at verse 3.
Sojourn in this land, and I will be with thee, and will bless thee. For unto thee and unto thy seed I will give all these countries, and I will perform the oath which I swear unto Abraham thy father.
You letting them know, hey, this promise I made to your father, hey, it's wide open for you. I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to do the same thing I did for your father for you. For how long of a covenant? Everlasting covenant. Verse 4.
And I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and will give unto thy seed all these countries, and in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed.
He said, hey, because of your seed, all the nations of the earth shall be blessed. But he's talking about Israel. Because that's who the Lord chose to be his priest. And that's who was supposed to be the blessing to all other nations. Which again, we know how that story ended. Israel failed, and hey, the world ain't getting no blessing from Israel. Israel ain't even getting no blessings right now. Not right now. Not the ones that he's talking about. But he's going to do this for Isaac and his seed because of what? Verse 5, and this is it for this.
Because that Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws.
See, because that Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, my laws. So much for thinking that the laws and the commandments started with Moses, when here he's talking about Abraham knows about it. He just said that right out of his mouth because, hey, I'm doing this thing because Abraham obeyed my voice, he kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, my laws. So laws was on the table from jump. It's just that Moses is the one that came down and prepared it, put everything in writing. We're going to read that in a little bit. He the one that really sealed the covenant because, hey, I'm sure the world was getting outrageous. So the promises that he made to Abraham, hey, he said, man, I'm eventually going to put this in writing. But this eventually passed on through Jacob. You can read about how it passed on through Jacob in Genesis 35 on your own. We're going to go down to Exodus 19 and pick it up there and see how this thing started forming and shaping how the Lord used this people that was supposed to bless the rest of the world. Exodus 19 and pick it up at verse 1. Exodus 19 and verse 1. When you get there, brother, go ahead.
In the third month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai. For they were departed from Rephidim and were come to the desert of Sinai and had pitched in the wilderness, and there Israel camped before the mountain. And Moses went up unto God, and the Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself.
Okay, so he let Moses know to go down here and remind Israel what just happened. You know, they was just in slavery, you know, a day or so beforehand. Now all of a sudden, hey, I done swooped them out. I done came, they done got up out of there away from them Egyptians, you know, and the Lord brought them out to himself. He said, hey, go down there and remind them what just happened, what I just did. And if they do what? Verse 5.
Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people. For all the earth is mine.
See, he started on the same routine that he told Abraham, he told Isaac, he told Jacob. You know, he said, now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed. See, that's the stipulation. That's the part that the world still to this day don't want to hear. We don't want to keep our part of the bargain, but we want all the blessings. We just want blessings, 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 blessings. But when it comes time to doing what it takes for blessings, we don't want to do that. Who one does that? Like I said, who wants to be here on the Sabbath when they can be out celebrating and having a good time? You know, they can be doing something else like the world is doing right now this moment. You know, they don't want to do that. They want to pick their own day of worship. Which I'm sure most of us here have been in somebody else's church. And that's exactly what we were taught. You know, just ignore what you can read and prove. Just follow the crowd. And that's what everybody's doing now, still. He said, now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. Because that sounds real good, and you would think to have this kind of promise from the Lord, you would think 100% would have been jumping at it. That's all we got to do is be obedient, and we can have it up here, looking down on the world, and the world want to get up here with us. You would think 100% would have been jumping on it. And they all said that as well. Let's keep reading. Go ahead.
And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests.
You said you're going to be unto me a what?
A kingdom of priests.
You're going to be unto me a kingdom of priests. So that's how the rest of the world is going to be blessed through Abraham's seed. Why? Because now the Lord is making him a kingdom of priests. So he got to give them all his rules, his laws, his statutes, his commandments, so they can't do such. You shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and what?
And a holy nation.
Uh-huh.
These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
Okay, go ahead.
And Moses came and called for the elders of the people, and laid before their faces all these words which the Lord commanded him.
See, Moses was just the intercessor. You know, he just interceded. God told him, you know, he like the man in the middle. God told him to go tell them something, and that's what he turned around to do. So God told Moses something, Moses turned around and told Israel, and that's what he's doing now. He said Moses came and called for the elders of the people and laid before their faces all these words which the Lord commanded him. So what did all the people, what did they end up doing and saying? Verse 8.
And all the people answered together and said, all that the Lord hath spoken we will do. And Moses returned the words of the people unto the Lord.
See, he just a go in between, intercessor. You know, so all the people, they agreed. They all agreed, but they were just listening to the blessing part. They wasn't listening to, hey, if you don't do it, what's going to happen? You know, it's like people don't want to hear that now. That's why there's no fear of the Lord now. Nobody believes there's going to be no lake of fire. The Lord ain't going to do that. He's not going to kill all the people. That's the people that forgot what he did in Noah's day, when he destroyed that world. He killed everybody then. This is just going to be a little tad bit different when it's going to be some eternal death going on. But see, all the people, they answered and they all agreed to the terms of this covenant. Go over to Exodus 24. Exodus 24, we're going to pick it up at verse 3. We're going to see how serious this got to the Lord to make sure that his kingdom of priests understood what their job was to be doing. So it wasn't no, well, we didn't know or we forgot. That's why he got Moses doing all this. But go ahead, 24:3, go ahead when you get there.
And Moses came and told the people all the words of the Lord and all the judgments. And all the people answered with one voice and said, all the words which the Lord has said we will do.
See, he bringing it to him again. See, right now he's going to do something a little bit different. It's going to be more than just a verbal agreement. You know, that's what the Lord gave it to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob as a verbal. He gave it to them as promises. And now, hey, Israel probably got so, the Lord know how it is, how it's going to be so. So, hey, I got to take it a step further. I gotta make it more than just a promise. We gotta endorse this thing. We gotta sign on the dotted line to make sure that everybody is in agreement with this covenant. And that's what Moses is about to do now, right here. And he told them all the words of the Lord and all the judgment, and all the people answered with one voice and said all the words which the Lord hath said we will do. People still use that phrase today. Whatever the Lord say, I'm gonna do it. You gonna keep a Sabbath day? Nope. Are you gonna take that pork chop off your mouth? Nope. Are you gonna do this? Nope. Are you gonna do that? Nope. Well, how you saying you gonna do whatever the Lord said that He said to do? Where did that come in play at? If everything that you're doing is not what He said, there's something wrong with that picture. But people still use this exact same phrase today. Verse 4.
And Moses wrote all the words of the Lord, and rose up early in the morning and built an altar under the hill, and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel.
Okay, so Moses, he writing all this stuff now. Now he just become an author of a scribe. Something he probably never imagined him doing. But hey, this is what the Lord wanted. This is what Moses, hey, he gonna make it happen. He wrote all this stuff down. He got up early in the morning to build an altar on the hill and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel. Verse 5.
And he set young men of the children of Israel, which offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen unto the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And Moses took half of the blood and put it in basins, and half the blood he sprinkled on the altar.
Okay, so he started making sacrifices, and he got this blood, and he took half of it, he put it in basins. He took the other half of the blood and he sprinkled it on the altar. And what else?
And he took the book of the covenant and read it in the audience of the people. And they said, all that the Lord hath said we will do.
He took the book of the covenant and he laid it before him. So all these laws, commandments, and everything that Moses wrote down, he laid it upon, he took the book of the covenant, he read in the audience of the people, and they said all that the Lord have said we will do and be obedient. They all in agreement with this. Everybody's in agreement. So again, that's why he's putting a stamp on this thing to make sure that, hey, they understand, hey, you in this thing. Now, in fact, you could just practically say what Moses is doing right here. He's marrying Israel to their husband. I'm putting you two together. You husband, you wife. Putting both of y'all together, and you saying you're going to be obedient to your husband, and he's saying he's going to keep his promises that he gave your forefathers all the way down to everlasting. Anybody break this covenant, this is what's going to, these are the consequences. These are the consequences. So Israel is being married to the Lord right here in the wilderness. Go ahead, verse 8.
And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people, and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which the Lord hath made with you concerning all these words.
So he said, hey, he took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which the Lord has made with you concerning all these words. But see, this is something that the Lord is taking serious. And again, the token of the covenant, hey, it's still everlasting. By this time, you all saying you're going to do everything the Lord going to say. That means, hey, every male that's 8 days and older, they should be circumcised by this time. They all entering into this thing. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about how we feel and how somebody interpret and what you think. No, this is either you're going to follow the rules or you break it. There's nothing in between that. That's what people get it twisted still to this day. They just get it twisted and think that because our mind feel a certain way, that God got to feel that way. No, God gave us His plan. We either gonna follow it or we wasting time. Let's go to Deuteronomy. Let's see how this covenant is gonna be sealed up. Because He got the blood. He put the blood on the people. He put the blood on the book of the covenant. And on the altar and all that. And again, he's going to marry these two. Exodus 20, Deuteronomy 4. Deuteronomy 4, and pick it up in verse 1 when you get there, brother.
Now therefore hearken, O Israel, unto the statutes and unto the judgments, which I teach you, for to do them, that ye may live and go in and possess the land which the Lord God of your fathers giveth you.
Okay, so it said, hearken, O Israel, hear this. Hear unto the statutes and unto the judgments which I teach you, for to do them, that ye may live, and go in and possess the land which the Lord God of your fathers giveth you. Verse 2.
Ye shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall ye diminish aught from it.
Okay, so how much should you add to the word?
None.
Nothing. Zero. No matter what you think and how you feel. He said, ye shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall ye diminish aught from it, that ye may keep the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you. And the commandment, brothers and sisters, hey, people act like they don't understand. It's not a question. A commandment is an order. If you're in the military or you in something other such, an order is something that you're not going to question. You just know, hey, you're going to face it and do it and carry it out. So why people think God orders don't mean nothing. His order, his commands, or his commandments, that's all it means, orders. That his orders just a joke. You can do what you want to do with them. No, you're either going to keep them, or again, I keep saying, you're wasting your time. Verse 3.
Your eyes have seen what the Lord did because of Baal Peor. For all the men that follow Baal Peor, the Lord thy God hath destroyed them from among you.
Well, you've already seen what your Lord did to Baal Peor. All the men that follow Baal Peor, which is the false god, the Lord thy God hath destroyed them from among you. Verse 4.
But ye that did cleave unto the Lord your God are alive, every one of you, this day. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither you go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
He said, hey, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom. This is your understanding. He letting you know in the sight of all the nations, this is your wisdom and your understanding. Meaning, really, today, should nobody be teaching you your wisdom and your understanding. Oh, Israel, because you have it. It's been passed down. But again, if you lost, you don't even know what it is that you were put here for. I'm sure we wasn't just put here just to be beat up on all the time or mistreated or misused or whatever, most majority of the time. Sure, we was put here for more than that. Yeah, we was put here to do a job. We turned our back on it, and now we suffering the consequences and thinking, hey, why the Lord doing that? Why is all this? Why is it like this way? Well, he's letting you know. That's why he got Moses going through all of this. And again, it's an everlasting covenant. It's not going to go anywhere. We done signed the dotted line our forefathers have, and we don't even know what's been going on. Why? Because basically this part of the book been thrown in the garbage. Somebody told you, you don't need this. No, you don't need this no more. Why? This is the most important information. All of it's good information. Don't get me wrong. But this is from the beginning. This is let Israel know, hey, this is why you in trouble right now. That's what I started telling a lot of brothers and sisters. Maybe it's more so about you, and nobody wants you to know that. Throw this in the garbage, then somebody can pull the wool over your eyes and just show you something else. Because again, I keep saying, in any other book, chapter 2 is not going to say the exact same words as chapter 1. If it is, somebody could bring me that book and show me that chapter 1 and chapter 2 say the exact same thing. It don't exist, not even in the Bible. That's how you have to look at this. This is chapter 1, chapter 2. Chapter 2 still reiterating what happened in chapter 1 like any other book. Like any other book. It's just so much controversy people want to add to this book. Like it's different. But go ahead, where we stop at?
We're on verse 7.
Go ahead.
Verse 7. For what nation is there so great, who have God so nigh unto them, as the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon him for?
Okay, so he's saying, hey, this is, your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of nations, that they're going to be looking at you saying, hey, surely this great nation is wise and understanding people. But what nation is there so great who have God so nigh to them or so near to them as the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon him? So that's what they're supposed to be looking up to us for. The blessing should have been following us. Everywhere we went, if there was a such thing as a Midas touch, that would have been Israel, the Israel touch. So who wouldn't want to follow you? They looking behind you and just blessings falling all out your pocket. They would be all behind you. All nations that want to believe. But since we done did the flip side, hey, the rest of the nations don't want to have nothing to do with you. Because you done lost that Midas touch for right now. You gotta go the hard way to get it. You got to go the hard way to get that done. Skip down and pick it up in verse 13 and go ahead.
You got to read.
Oh, go ahead and read verse 8.
Verse 8. And what nation is there so great that have statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law which I set before you this day?
He said, hey, what nation is there so great that have statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law which I set before you this day? I mean, these laws and statutes will rule a kingdom. Countries, they complain. I'm sure Canada have their problems, just like the United States have their problems, but they want to put all their marbles in some leader, some flesh and blood person, instead of putting in the Lord. We just follow his governmental rules. Hey, it'll be a perfect world right now. You from the United States, you wouldn't have to worry about what Trump doing and what he messing up and what this person doing or what the prime minister is doing or the queen or the king. You wouldn't have to worry about what they messing up, what they doing good, because doing it God's way, you say my laws are perfect across the board. That'll be perfect. We wouldn't have no complaints. Wouldn't be no marching, wouldn't be no dispute. How? If it's perfect. But see, the world really don't want perfect. We say we strive for it, but the instruction manual how to get there right here, hey, the world basically tossing in the garbage. We don't need them instruction manual. We'll come up with our own constitutions and live by that. Because of course some of the constitution might coincide with this, but a lot of it don't. A lot of it is just something that's just not working. Maybe you should turn back to the Lord and follow his laws and statutes. Now skip down to verse 13 and pick it up.
And he declared unto you his covenant, which he commanded you to perform, even 10 commandments, and he wrote them upon 2 tables of stone.
Who wrote them upon a table of stone? You're talking about God. God wrote them down with his own finger. You can't mess that up and say that Moses had something to do with it, or Moses made that stuff up like some people like to say. Said he declared unto you his covenant which he commanded you to perform. Yeah, brothers and sisters, command ain't nothing to question you how you feel about it. Command is do it. Bottom line, just do it. He commanded you to perform even 10 commandments, and he wrote them upon 2 tables of stones, 14.
And the Lord commanded me at that time to teach you statutes and judgments, that ye might do them in the land, whether you go over to possess it.
The Lord commanded me at that time to teach you statutes and judgments, that you might do them in the land, whether you go over to possess. Skip down and pick it up at 25 and go ahead.
When thou shalt beget children, and children's children, and ye shall have remained long in the land, and shall corrupt yourselves, and make a graven image, or the likeness of anything, and shall do evil in the sight of the Lord thy God, to provoke him to anger. I call heaven and earth to witness against you this day, that ye shall soon utterly perish from off the land whereunto ye go over Jordan to possess it. Ye shall not prolong your days upon it.
It is when the Lord letting you know what's the flip side till it's coming. You know, hey, good, it's some blessings. You know, you're going to be high on the totem pole and all that. That's great, but you got to do something. But if you don't feel that that's what you're going to do, because we all agreed that, hey, I do. The Lord said I do. Israel said I do. Covenant is set. You know, that's why Moses let them know, hey, I even got a witness to this thing. That's why he let them know when thou shalt beget children and children's children. That's the hardest thing to understand. That God punished bloodlines. He punished generations down the line. We walking around figuring, what did I do? It ain't even about you. Personally, it's about forefathers. It's about greats. And what they did and what they've been punished for is just passing on seed by seed on down. That's how the Lord operates. It ain't sometimes nothing personal. It's just, hey, I'm promising you that your children is going to see this thing. And your greats are going to see this thing if you don't do it right. So he says, when thou shalt beget children and children's children, and ye have remained long in the land and shall corrupt yourselves. You done messed up and make some kind of graven image or the likeness of anything, and shall do evil in the sight of the Lord thy God to provoke him to anger. Moses letting you know, hey, my hands is washed with that blood. So he said, I call heaven and earth to witness against you this day. Because the Lord is watching. The angel is right there watching. He done heard every word. I told you what the Lord said, and the Lord said, hey, this is what I'm going to do if you do what I'm telling you to do. And everybody said I do, so hey, I got witnesses. He said that, hey, I call heaven and earth to witness against you this day, that ye shall soon utterly perish from off the land whereunto ye go over Jordan to possess it. Ye shall not prolong your days upon it, but shall utterly be destroyed. 27.
And the Lord shall scatter you among the nations, and ye shall be left few in number amongst the heathens, whether the Lord shall lead you.
Yeah, here we sit. Here we are in the later days, still scattered among the nations, and still not wondering why. Still wondering why we don't have nowhere to call home. But again, that's all another lesson, but it's just learning something or going into something. You know, the Lord told you about this. This is all part of the covenant. So, you know, like Elijah say a lot of times, you know, it can't be no blessings if it's not no curses, and vice versa. You know, you gotta have two sides to a coin. You know, you ain't gonna just have all heads, and you just not gonna have both sides tails. It's two sides. So if you want blessings, that's one side of the head. The other side is curses of this coin. But go ahead.
But if from thence thou shalt seek the Lord thy God, thou shalt find him, if thou seek him with all thine heart and with all thy soul.
Okay, so it's there in 28, and there you shall serve gods, the work of men's hands, wood and stone. Here we sit, we're doing the exact same thing to this day and wondering why this curse is still upon the world. We're doing the exact same thing our forefathers did. What's changed? People tell me all the time, you know, I get to talking to co-workers and people, oh, you know, we a different generation. I've been hearing that so long. But we a different generation where this curse still is right behind you. You still being punished. It doesn't matter what generation you in or what world you in. It's a new world. Yeah, it is, but people still dying every day. Why? Because of these curses. And it's not just upon Israel, because, you know, other nationalities die every day. Getting killed, somebody getting killed every day. Somewhere in this world. It's just Israel, just the number one man in line. That's all. We just the first one in line when it comes to the curses. He said, "Then ye shall serve gods, the work of men's hands, wood and stone, which neither see, nor hear, nor eat, nor smell. But if from thence thou shalt seek the Lord thy God, thou shalt find him, if thou seek him with all thy heart and with all thy soul." So even though you scattered throughout the land, you still can seek the Lord. You just got to get back in track. We still got to be part of the cursed world as well. It gets hard out here sometimes. There's more people out here doing wrong than it is trying to do it right. So, hey, we just got to put some kind of separation between the two. But go ahead.
But thou art in tribulation, and all these things are come upon thee, even in the latter days.
Even when?
Even in the latter days.
Even in our days. Moses is telling us all the way down to the latter days. That could be our time. People that want to throw away Moses in the Old Testament, they don't realize Moses spoke about all the way down to the second coming of the Lord in the first 5 books of the Bible. You know, the Lord had told the whole story to Moses, what's going down and what's going to happen. Everything else after that is just reiterating the same old thing. Same old story. He said, "When thou art in tribulation and all these things are come upon thee, even in the latter days, if thou turn to the Lord thy God and shalt be obedient unto his voice." Go ahead. 31.
For the Lord thy God is a merciful God. He will not forsake thee, neither destroy thee, nor forget the covenant of thy fathers, which he sware unto them.
Okay, so when did he say he gonna forget the covenant? He said he never gonna forget the covenant. You know, he always gonna remember his covenants. People like to look in the sky on a rainy day sometimes and see one particular member of a covenant that the Lord made with the world. You know, as a sign. He made a covenant, and what the world did nowadays, they done turned that sign into something totally different. It don't have nothing to do with why the Lord put it there. They want to put some pride on it or something other, whatever they call it. It don't have nothing to do with what the Lord put that rainbow out there for. But it was a sign of a covenant that he made with man. It's telling you, hey, I still remember. And that's what he letting Israel know here. Hey, even though, hey, you're going to go through some tribulous times and all of this stuff, but hey, I can still, you know, if you turn back, the Lord is merciful, is what he's saying in 31. He will not forsake thee, neither destroy thee, nor forget the covenant of thy fathers which he sware unto them. You're not going to forget that, brothers and sisters. Let's go over to John the 5th chapter now. Some people, you know, they just fanatical believe that, hey, New Testament is where it's at. We're going to see what Jesus said about something that Moses had witnessed to us at Deuteronomy 4. John 5, we're going to pick it up at verse 45. John 5 and 45. What did Jesus tell these false prophets and these people that was non-believers? Go ahead. 45. John 5 and 45. Go ahead.
Do not think that I will accuse you to the Father. There was one that accused you, even Moses, in whom you trust.
See, he told these guys, he said, hey, don't think that I will accuse you to the Father. I don't have to be the accuser. Why? Your accuser done lived long ago. He said, there's already one that accused you. That's Moses, in whom ye trust. You say you believe in Moses, but he's the one that's accusing you. He's the one that wrote this stuff down for the Lord. And he the one that just told them in Deuteronomy 4 that I done washed my hand of it. I got a witness in heaven and earth that this day that this agreement was made. That's your accuser right there. He's saying, I ain't come to repeat that. That's already been done. For what? 46.
But had ye believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me.
Hey, that's right out the horse's mouth. You would have believed Moses, you would have believed me because he wrote about me. You know, that's what people fail to realize. But if you're not reading Moses, then how you going to know what Jesus was all about back then? But see, that's what people don't realize. That the same Jesus of the New Testament is the same Jesus of the Old Testament. That's why we narrowing this down to see what the testator is. What does that mean? What do these testaments mean? But so far, it don't mean the law. Jesus telling you that what Moses wrote about was good. You know, for had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But what, 47?
But if you believe not his writings, how shall you believe my words?
So he said, if you can't believe Moses' writings, how you going to believe me? How you going to say I believe Jesus and you done threw Moses in the garbage? Moses up under the garbage dump, and you trying to say you know something about, you believe on Jesus. How? How can you do that? Moses is not even in the picture. Especially if you're a New Testament Christian, you can't say that you believe in Moses, except for tithes, maybe. That's about the one thing that most churches nowadays pull out of Moses. Tithes, everything else is thrown in the garbage. You take the money part, but everything else ain't no good. That make real good sense. How convenient. Let's go to Jeremiah 11 chapter. Jeremiah 11. We're going to pick it up at verse 1. Jeremiah 11 and 1. Go ahead.
The word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, Hear ye the words of this covenant, and speak unto the men of Judah, and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. And say thou unto them, Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, Cursed be the man that obeyeth not the words of this covenant.
Okay, so what covenant is Jeremiah talking about? He's still talking about the same covenant that Moses wrote about. You know, we read about it a few times. This covenant is still good. It's an everlasting covenant, and it can't change. Jesus just told you if you don't believe what Moses had wrote about, then how you gonna say you believe in him? You know, that goes hand in hand. Moses wrote about Jesus. If you believe in Jesus, hey, you got to believe what Moses wrote. It's like we read in 2 Timothy that I threw in there that all scripture is inspired by God. All scripture is inspired by God. That he gives it to man. He said, Hear ye the words of this covenant, and speak unto the men of Judah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and say unto them what?
And say thou unto them, Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, Cursed be the man that obeyeth not the words of this covenant, which I commanded your fathers in the day that I brought them forth out of the land of Egypt, from the iron furnace, saying, Obey my voice, and do them according to all which I command you. So shall ye be my people, and I will be your God.
Yeah, Jeremiah, all the way in his day, still got to remind these people about breaking the Lord's covenant. You got to get back on track. Here we are, still in 2017. We still saying the same thing. We got to get back on track with God's covenant. The world as a whole need to, but hey, we can't be worried about the world doing it. We got to individually try to get this thing right. Verse 5.
That I may perform the oath which I have sworn unto your fathers, to give them a land flowing with milk and honey, as it is this day. Then answered I and said, So be it, O Lord.
Well,
Then the Lord said unto me, Proclaim all these words in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, saying, Hear ye the words of this covenant, and do them.
He said, Hey, the Lord said unto me, Proclaim all these words in the city of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, saying, Hear ye the words of this covenant, and do them. I mean, the covenant ain't changed, brothers and sisters. It's not going to change in the New Testament. It haven't changed in the Old Testament. But we now on our way down to what exactly did change, the death of the testator. Go ahead.
For I earnestly protested unto your fathers in the day that I brought them up out of the land of Egypt, even unto this day, rising early and protesting, saying, Obey my voice. Yet they obeyed not, nor inclined their ear, but walked every one in the imagination of their evil heart. Therefore I will bring upon them all the words of this covenant which I commanded them to do. But they did not, but they did them not.
He said, hey, they obeyed not. See, God didn't break his end of the bargain. His end of the bargain was kept. His man's end of the bargain that was broken. Israel broke their part of the covenant when they said, hey, all that the Lord said we would do, hey, they broke it and did just the opposite. Did exactly what the Lord told them not to do. So it's not the Lord's fault that Israel is in captivity and Israel is the first one in line for all the devastation going on in the world. It's not his fault. It's their fault. And the rest of the world is following behind us. They were supposed to follow behind us on the good. If we would have had the Midas touch, they would have been right there with us, following us. And guess what? Israel not doing their job, they all follow us straight in hell. That's the direction that the world is headed toward. Yeah, nobody gets this thing right. So he said, hey, I protested. I protested unto the fathers in the day that I brought them up out of the land of Egypt. Even unto this day, rising early and protesting, saying, obey my voice. Yet they did what? Obeyed not. Nor inclined their ear, but walked everyone in the imagination of their evil heart. Therefore I will bring upon them all the words of this covenant which I commanded them to do, and they did them not. So you don't want to do it, hey, Lord got a prize for you. If you want to do it, he got a prize for you. Either way, there's going to be a prize. It's just one of the prizes getting beat upside the head. I'm sure Israel should be tired of it as a people. The world should be tired of getting beat upside the head as a whole. But obviously not, because ain't nobody turning their ears to want to hear anything. Go ahead, verse 9.
And the Lord said unto me, a conspiracy is found among the men of Judah and among the inhabitants of Jerusalem. Mm-hmm. They are turned back to the iniquities of their forefathers.
They the same iniquities their forefathers committed. Guess what? We still committing them now. We still being told it's okay now. Same-sex marriage, it wasn't okay way back in Sodom and Gomorrah. It's not okay now. And later on, generations down the line, they ain't gonna know nothing about that. It wasn't no such time when it wasn't same-sex marriage. They gonna think, hey, they making it where everything is okay with that right now today. So some generations gonna forget all about the struggle and the fight to keep that stuff, where it needs to be in the garbage. But hey, man still gonna just keep pushing forward and being disobedient. So they turned back to the iniquities of their forefathers. Sodom and Gomorrah wasn't good enough for the world today, because now they just saying everything is okay. Not only is it okay, hey, we're gonna take the sign of his covenant and make it part of our iniquity. We're gonna be that bold because ain't nobody fearing God no more in this day and time. He said, hey, they turned back to the iniquities of their forefathers, which what?
Which refused to hear my words, and they went after other gods to serve them. Mm-hmm. The house of Israel and the house of Judah have broken my covenant, which I made with their fathers.
Go ahead, verse 11.
Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will bring evil upon them.
He gonna do what upon them?
I will bring evil upon them.
He said, I will bring evil upon them. If they don't want to act right, guess what? I got something in store. I got just the perfect thing for them. Evil upon them, which they gonna what?
But they shall not be able to escape.
You said they gonna be able to march to escape it, right?
And they will not be able to escape.
You said they gonna be able to lay down in the street and escape it, right?
They will not be able to escape.
You said they not gonna be able to escape this punishment. This evil ain't no running from it. And though what?
And though they cry unto me, I will not hearken unto them.
You said, hey, they're gonna be crying real loud now. I ain't gonna hear nothing. I'm gonna turn around and turn my back and act like I don't hear nothing. But go ahead, verse 12.
Then said the cities of Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, go and cry unto the gods unto whom they offer incense, but they shall not save them at all in the time of their trouble.
See, now you want to cry, this evil that will come upon the earth. Now you want to cry to Jesus the Christ. Why not go cry to Santa Claus? Well, he won't say. What about Roger the Rabbit? Why not cry to him? The jack-o'-lantern. Why you gonna cry to him? You know, this is all the kind of stuff that people want to worship and have a pride of, so why not pray to them? Pray to them that, hey, Lord, lift this evil, lift this evil upon us. Because he's feeling, hey, you turning your back on me any other time, so, hey, when the pain, when it get too hot in the oven, just keep praying, just keep doing what you're doing. Go to them guys, don't come to me, because I'm not going to be listening to you. Go to Daniel, the 9th chapter. Daniel, he prayed this prayer where he understood exactly what the problem was. I said the majority of God's disciples and prophets had to live through all these curses that's still upon the world to this day. It's not because they served God that they was just omitted from the curses. Even Jesus didn't escape some of the curses. They hated him without a cause. Daniel prayed this prayer, and it made every bit of sense of what the problem was and what he was praying about for his people. Daniel 9, pick it up in verse 3 when you get there, brother.
And I set my face unto the Lord God to seek by prayer and supplications with fasting and sackcloth and ashes.
Mm-hmm.
And I prayed unto the Lord my God and made my confession and said, O Lord, the great and dreadful God, keeping the covenant and mercy to them that love him, and to them that keep his commandments.
Okay, so he said this prayer to the Lord my God and made my confession and said, O Lord, the great and dreadful God, keeping the covenant and mercy to them that love him. Because the only ones that's going to keep this covenant is the ones that love him. And to them that keep his commandments. Those are the ones that's showing God that he loves them. You can't say, I love you, and spit in somebody's face, and every time they look around, you doing something they told you not to do, to be disobedient. That ain't love. What else did he say in this prayer? Verse 5.
We have sinned and have committed iniquity.
Who sinned?
We have sinned.
We have sinned. We got to honor up to what we've done, what our forefathers have done, what our forefathers have taught us to do. Because again, it's passed down by generation to generation, brothers and sisters, by word of mouth and by forefathers telling us that wrong is right. Even down to not to this day. Wrong is right in this world, and that it shouldn't be. We have sinned and have committed iniquity and done what?
And have done wickedly,
Mm-hmm.
and have rebelled, even by departing from thy precepts and from thy judgment.
We have rebelled, even by departing from thy precepts, from thy judgment. Go ahead.
Neither have we hearkened unto thy servants the prophets, which spake in thy name to our kings, our princes, and our fathers, and to all the people of the land.
We ain't hearkening to thy servants, the prophets. They definitely ain't hearing the prophets today. They don't want to hear no prophets. They want to hear something that just say love. If it don't have love in the sentence, nobody want to hear that.
Mm.
Love and blessings and happiness. That all sound good, but hey, this evil is too much upon this earth to ignore it and say that it ain't there. People just act like every day is sunny. It'll be a tornado and hurricane and everything else going outside, and somebody, oh man, this is a blessing. This is just wonderful. It's sunny. No, it's a hurricane. It's something going on in the world that can't be ignored, and that's this evil. That's this evil, and it might as well call it a hurricane, because that's the way it's just ravaging up the land. Just destroying people left and right. And all because what? Don't nobody want to listen. Go ahead, verse 7.
O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee,
Mm-hmm.
but unto us confusion of faces, as at this day,
Mm-hmm.
to the men of Judah, and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem,
Mm-hmm.
and unto all Israel that are near and that are far off, through all the countries whither thou hast driven them, because of their transgressions, that they have trespassed against thee.
Go ahead, verse 8.
O Lord, to us belongeth confusion of faith, to our kings, to our princes, and to our fathers, because we have sinned against thee.
Okay, said, O Lord, to us belongeth confusion of faith, to our kings, to our princes, and to our fathers, because we have sinned against thee. Verse 9.
To the Lord our God belongeth mercies and forgiveness, though we have rebelled against him.
Mm-hmm.
Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord our God to walk in his laws, which he set before us by his servants, the prophets.
Okay, go ahead. Verse 11.
Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law.
How much of Israel have transgressed?
All Israel have
All Israel have transgressed that law. That's what Daniel's saying in his day, but in Moses' day, what did all Israel right there saying, hey, whatever the Lord gonna say, we gonna do it?
Mm-hmm.
Now, not one of them is gonna do exactly what they had agreed upon in that covenant to do. So all Israel have transgressed that law, even by what?
By departing.
By departing. Go ahead.
That they might not obey thy voice.
That they might not obey thy voice, therefore what?
Therefore the curse is poured upon us.
What's poured upon us?
The curse.
The curse. Well, that's a bad word when I say that to some people. That's a bad word. Man, I wouldn't call this a curse. What you want to call it? What do you want to call it? You got a better word, better choice of word, call it that. I wouldn't say it's a curse, though. All we got to do, hey, all we've been having to do for 400 years is that's exactly what we've been saying. All we got to do. When is something going to change? If that's all we got to do. Therefore, the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him. Verse 12.
And he hath confirmed his words which he spake against us, and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil.
He brought upon us a great evil for what?
For under the whole heaven have not been done as hath been done unto Jerusalem.
You stand out like a sore thumb.
Mm.
There ain't another country in this world that has had the same exact thing happen to them like it have Jerusalem or Israel. You know, I tell some people that what about this people over there? We're talking about the whole picture. Yeah, sure, there's been some countries that done had some downfalls, and a lot of people, of course, want to throw Hitler in there. Oh, that was devastation. But that's not everlasting. Them Jews been set free. They wasn't enslaved by Hitler for nowhere near 400 and something years alone. There's no comparison. And that's what people like to run to, where, there's no comparison. It has never happened to another people like it has happened to us. Let's move on. Let's go skip down. Let's keep reading. Verse 13.
As it is written in the law of Moses, all this evil is come upon us, yet made we not our prayer before the Lord our God, that we might turn from our iniquities and understand thy truth.
See, as it's written in the law of Moses, all this evil is come upon us. And Moses told you this. He warned you about this. Yet made we not our prayer before the Lord our God, that we might turn from our iniquities and understand thy truth. 14.
Therefore hath the Lord watched upon the evil, and brought it upon us. For the Lord our God is righteous in all his works, which he doeth, for we obeyed not his voice.
It's all because of us. It ain't because the Lord just woke up one morning and said, hey, punish the earth. I just feel like doing it. No, it's all because of man's ordeals and man's choices that we make. That's why these curses and this evil is all over this earth. If it wasn't, hey, Satan ain't nothing that the Lord can't shut down. The Lord wanted evil to stop, he'll tell Satan to go sit down in the corner and shut up and be quiet. And that's exactly what Satan said until the Lord told him to move again. There ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about it. People think that we can do something to control it. We can't do nothing. We can't even control ourselves, let alone control Satan. Satan can only do what the Lord allowed him to do. Let's go now. Let's skip down to 26 and 27. Go ahead.
And after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off, but not for himself. And the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary, and the end thereof shall be with the flood, and unto the end of the war desolations are determined.
Okay, so 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off, but not for himself, and the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary. And the end thereof shall be with the flood, and unto the end of the war desolations are determined. 27.
And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. And in the midst of the week, he shall cause the sacrifice and oblation to cease. And for the overspreading of abomination, he shall make it desolate, even until the consummation, and that determined shall be poured upon the
So
desolate.
you start talking about Jesus here. That he gonna confirm the covenant for 1 week, which he only completed half of this week of confirming the covenant. Why? Because in the midst of the week, he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease, which is pretty much just he died for the sins of the people. That's a whole nother lesson. I can't do everything at one time, but I mean, hey, the laws of the sacrifice and oblation, hey, that's the only thing that changed really as far as laws between the Old and the New Testament. You had one law for the moral laws, the thou shalt nots and the commandments, and then you had another law that was added, and so when you broke some of those laws, you had this law to redeem yourself. That was the sacrifice law, sacrificial law. But he stopped that when he became the ultimate sacrifice, and it's not even for no animals to die. The animals never sinned against the Lord anyway, so it wasn't no reason for them to die anyway. You talk to some people, they'll even say something about that, something that we know we shouldn't be doing. Oh, see, the animals, they do that. Well, the Lord ain't tell the animals not to do that. He told you not to do that. How you going to tell yourself? They ain't saying against God. They in the wild doing whatever they going to do. But he told you to act a certain way, and that's how you supposed to act. And you can't go and run to the Lord and say, well, Lord, the lion, he act this way. It don't matter. You're not the lion. You're the man. You're the one that's supposed to be running the lion. But that's a whole nother lesson. Let's go over to Galatians now, the 3rd chapter. Galatians 3. We're going to pick it up at verse 15. Galatians 3, verse 15. When you get there, brother, go ahead.
Brother, I speak after the manner of men. Though it be but a man's covenant, yet if it be confirmed, no man does annul or addeth thereto.
Okay, so we're saying, brother, when I speak after the manner of men, though it be but a man's covenant, yet if it be confirmed, no man disannul or addeth to it. Go ahead.
Now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made, he saith not, and to seeds as of many, but as of one, and to thy seed, which is Christ.
Okay, to Abraham and his seed were the promises made, he saith not unto seeds as of many, but as one, and to the seed which is Christ. Verse 17.
And this I say, that the covenant that was confirmed before God in Christ, the law, which was 430 years after, cannot disannul, that it should make the promises of none effect.
Okay, so that letting us know that even though God didn't put it in writing when he gave it to Abraham, when he gave it to Isaac, when he gave it to Jacob, it wasn't in writing, it was promised. We read a little bit of the promise when we read about Isaac and how the Lord promised him how he was going to, give him the make many nations out of his seed, and if he followed the covenant, because he promised it to Abraham, he was going to take care of the business. If he keep the covenant. So we read part of it. Just because he promised it to them, now he came along and with Moses, he put it down in writing where it was a law now. He wrote it down. That's what we read now. He wrote the laws down, and that was like 400 and something years after he gave it to Abraham as a promise. So it don't make the promise of non-effect because it goes right along with the promise. Like we read, he told Abraham, if you keep my laws, my statutes, my commandments, and follow after me, then I will do this. I will keep my part of the covenant for you. I'll make a blessing out of you. Bless your seed and your seed's seed. Make many nations out of you. Verse 18.
For if the inheritance be of the law, it is no more a promise, but God gave it to Abraham by
You
promise.
said the inheritance be of the law, it is no more of a promise, but God gave it to Abraham by promise. He promised Abraham this, and Abraham did keep his part of the promise. So did Isaac, so did Jacob. It's just when Israel came along, it was a whole new ball game. Now we got to do something a little different because these people are something else. You know, we're gonna put this, this verbal agreement. We're gonna make this a signed agreement now. That's just like something that goes on in real life. The verbal agreement just don't cut it at some point. You know, me and this brother might, he might sell me a house, and I promise him, hey, bro, I'm gonna pay you 30 years and pay this house off. Okay, cool. You know, and if I don't pay it, guess what? He might have a problem coming after me and getting his money, right? So, hey, if it's gonna be a problem, hey, brother, sign on the dotted line now. Now we're gonna make this a law, this a legal document now. You saying you're gonna pay me for this house, period. And that's how the Lord had to do his people. Hey, that ain't a problem. Hey, y'all heard my words, but hey, it's like, hey, y'all slowly just turning around running the other way. Like I haven't said nothing, so I'm gonna write it down. We still have it written to this day where it's no excuse. Ain't no excuse. So that's why he had it written. He said, the inheritance be of the promise, there is no more promise, but he gave it to Abraham by promise. But what about the law? Verse 19.
Wherefore then serveth the law. It was added because of transgressions, until the seed should come to whom the promise was made. And it was ordained by angels in the hand of a mediator.
Okay, he says serveth the law. You got to serve it because it was added because of transgression. Till the seed should come to whom the promise was made, and it was ordained by angels in the hand of a mediator. Go ahead.
Now a mediator is not a mediator of one, but God is one.
Go ahead.
Is the law then against the promises of God? God forbid. For if there had been a law given which could have given life, verily righteousness should have been by the law.
See, righteousness always has been by the law, but he had faith in Abraham. He had faith in Isaac. He had faith in Jacob. You know, they all passed. But the Lord knew what the world was going to turn into, so he said, hey, I got to put this in some writing. You know, I'm going to join it together. You know, my church that I'm setting up out here in the wilderness, hey, we're going to sign this covenant with some blood. We're going to sign and seal it. Moses told you I got witness in heaven and earth that we doing this day. And hey, that's complete. That is complete. We stuck. Ain't no getting outside this marriage. Whether you like it or whether you don't. It don't matter. You held responsible for this covenant. Go ahead, where we stop at?
In 29.
Skip down to verse 29. But he said 21, is the law then against the promise of God? God forbid, for if there had been a law which had given life, verily righteousness should have been by the law. 29.
And if ye be Christ, then are ye Abraham's seed, and heirs according to the promise.
Yeah, if you're going to say you Christ, then you're Abraham's seed. You can't be Christ. You can't say you believe in Christ and throw Abraham in the garbage. And his seed, this all go one hand in hand. So if you be Christ, then you are Abraham's seed and heirs according to the promise. Go over to Romans 15 now. We're going to read one verse here. Romans 15, we're going to pick it up at verse 8. Romans 15 and verse 8. Go ahead when you get there, brother.
Now I say that Jesus Christ was the minister of the circumcision for the truth of God, to confirm the promises made unto the fathers.
I say that Jesus Christ was a minister of the circumcision for the truth of God. So even Jesus believed in the circumcision. Somebody go and run and read in Paul somewhere that circumcision is no more. You know, he said he was a minister of the circumcision for the truth of God to confirm the promises made unto the fathers. That's all Jesus came to do. And to confirm you today, these covenants that I promised Abraham, they still good. All you got to do is do your part. Because that's the hold up now. Israel don't want to do their part. The world is not going to do their part. If Israel don't do their part, so hey, the world is just messed up. It's going to continue to be messed up. Mark 14, one verse. Mark 14, we're going to pick it up at verse 24. Mark 14, verse 24. When you get there, brother, go ahead.
And he said unto them, This is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many.
Okay, so you let them know this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many. So blood got everything to do with this New Testament. So if blood got something to do with the New Testament, then what has something to do with the Old Testament? We're going to see that blood has something to do with both testaments. Period. He was always under some blood. That's what we're getting down to, the death of the testator. The Old and New Testament, the death of the testator. Let's go to Hebrews, the 9th chapter. Hebrews 9, let's pick it up at verse 13. Hebrews 9 and 13. When you get there, brother, go ahead.
For if the blood of bulls and of goats, and the ashes of a heifer sprinkling the unclean, sanctify to the purifying of the flesh, how much more shall the blood of Christ, who through the eternal Spirit offered himself without spot to God, purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living God?
He said, if the blood of bulls and goats and the ashes of a heifer sprinkling the unclean sanctified to the purifying of the flesh, if that could purify the flesh, then how much more shall the blood of Christ, who through the eternal Spirit offered himself without spot to God, purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living God? So if blood of animals could cleanse you up, how much more cleaner do you think that the blood of Jesus is going to do for you? It's much more clear because, again, animals didn't do anything to sin against God to be dying for man. They never could die for men. That was just a temporary thing until the real lamb came along. Once the real lamb came along and died, then a physical lamb was no more needed. But that physical lamb, that always represented the blood of Jesus. People think, hey, the New Testament just brings the blood of Jesus on the table. No, that's why Jesus told them people, hey, Moses wrote all about me. All this was pointing toward me. You know, you don't believe him, then hey, you can't sit here and say you believe me. Verse 15.
And for this cause he is the mediator of the New Testament, that by means of death, for the redemption of the transgressions that were under the first testament, they which are called might receive the promise of eternal inheritance.
He said, for this cause he is the mediator of the New Testament. How? That by means of death. For the redemption of the transgressions that were under the first testament, they which are called might receive the promise of eternal inheritance. Whatever, 16.
For where a testament is, there must also of necessity be the death of the testator.
See, for where a testament is, there must also of necessity be the death of a testator. So if you can't have a testament unless you got a testator. Meaning, what? Verse 17.
For a testament is of force after men are dead. Otherwise, it is of no strength at all while the testator liveth.
See, as long as the testator liveth, as long as the testament liveth, hey, it can't be enforced while the testator liveth, but it's enforced when they dead. Once they die, then it's enforced. Then you have the testator. That's why you only have two testaments. Therefore, where a testament is, there must also of necessity be the death of the testator. Who's the testator of the first testament? Animals. The blood of bulls and goats and all that. That was your testator then. If Jesus still hadn't come right now, today, 2017, guess who your testator would still be? You would still be killing bulls and goats right now to try to redeem yourself, waiting on the one to come, because he got to die. That's why the whole time that Jesus walked the earth, he was not a testator for them 3.5 years. Once he died, now he's become a testament. That's where the New Testament picks up at. It don't have nothing to do with no laws between books. It has something to do with who was dying for your sins. Again, we're living on the side where Jesus and died for our sins. So yeah, we under a New Testament. We're going to keep looking at it. But before, they were under a testament as well. And it all was pointing to the same thing. It all was pointing to the same thing. That's what they were killing bulls and goats to point at. So for where a testament is, there must also of necessity be the death of the testator, for a testament is of force after men are dead. Otherwise, it is of no strength at all while the testator liveth. So that's why Jesus had to die. He couldn't just walk around and give blessings and all that and still be a testator, because it wouldn't have been a force until he died. Go ahead, verse 18.
Whereupon neither the first testament was dedicated without blood.
First testament had blood as well. Go ahead.
For when Moses had spoken every precept to all the people according to the law, he took the blood of calves and of goats with water and scarlet wool and hyssop, and sprinkled both the book and all the people.
See, we read that. We read some of that. You know, he spoke all the precept to the people according to the law to make them understand. Then when it was all said and done, he took the blood of cows and goats with water, wool, and hyssop, and he sprinkled both the book and all the people. Make sure that, hey, we won now. We are one in this covenant. But go ahead.
Saying, this is the blood of the testament which God hath enjoined unto you.
You said, hey, this is the blood of the testament which God hath enjoined unto you. So this covenant is done with the blood of bulls and goats. Now, the New Testament says we don't have to kill anything no more. That's why we're going to read in just a few that Jesus changed it a little bit, where you don't have to go to the seat of Aaron to receive the law like they did. They did something wrong. If you were still under that covenant, you would still have to go to the priest. Tell the priest what you did wrong. The priest would turn around. You would bring him a bullock or a lamb or something that can be killed for your sacrifice, and the priest would have to sacrifice it for you. But now it says Jesus then died and became our high priest once and for all, and you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that part of the law. That went away with the sacrificial law. Was Aaron's job. His job, hey, Jesus took that over. So that's why Jesus gonna tell us in a little bit that, hey, under this new covenant, this new death, you ain't got to go to the priest. Hey, we're going to put it right up here. I'm going to do you a favor, and it's going to be right here. So you ain't got to guess no more. You ain't got to go run and ask, hey, man, did I do wrong? Please tell me. You know, let me know if I did wrong or not. You ain't got to guess. It's already there. Go ahead. Where we at? Both of us can't get lost.
21. Moreover, he sprinkled with blood the tabernacle and all the vessels of the ministry.
Mm-hmm.
And almost all things are by the law purged with blood, and without the shedding of blood is no remission.
I said, moreover, he sprinkled with blood both the tabernacle and all the vessels of the ministry, and almost all things are by the law purged with blood, and without shedding of blood, there's no remission. So it always had to be some blood shed. It's just which testament do you live under? Of course, everybody here live under the New Testament. So again, we under the blood of the actual Jesus. But that don't omit those ones that was under the Old Testament that was under the blood of bulls and goats, because that blood pointed toward Jesus as well. So they ain't left out. It's just what they had to do to get remission. Let's move on. Let's go over to right over to Hebrews 10. Go right into Hebrews 10 and pick it up in verse 1. Go ahead.
For the law, having a shadow of good things to come, and not the very image of the things, can never, with those sacrifices which they offered year by year, continually make the comers thereunto perfect.
For the law having a shadow of good things to come, and not the very image of things, can never with those sacrifices which they offer year by year continually make the comers down too perfect. So the animal sacrifice wasn't a long-term ordeal to make people perfect. It was just a temporary thing until the real sacrifice came along and did it once and for all. Verse 2.
But then would they not have ceased to be offered, because that the worshippers once purged should have had no more conscience of sin. But in those sacrifices there is a remembrance again made of sins every year. For it is not possible that the blood of bulls and of goats should take away sins.
It wasn't possible for them to do it, because why? Because they never sinned. Man sinned, so man had to come and redeem man for sin. Man had to die to do that. Not no animal. But go ahead.
For it is, wherefore, when he cometh into the world, he saith, Sacrifice and offering thou wouldest not, but a body hast thou prepared for me. And burnt offerings and sacrifices for sin thou hast no pleasure. Then said I, Lo, I come in the volume of the book, it is written of me, to do thy will, O God. Above, when he said, Sacrifice and offerings and burnt offerings, and offering for sin thou wouldest not, neither hast pleasure therein, which are offered by the law.
Okay, go ahead, verse 9.
Then said he, Lo, I come to do thy will, O God. He taketh away the first, that he be established the second.
He took away the first what? He took away the first testament so he can establish the second testament. You know, it's not a big secret, or it's not that hard to realize what went down between testaments. The only thing that went down is the one that shed blood for you. That's the only thing that changed. It ain't had nothing to do with no law going away. It ain't had nothing to do with any of that, changing any laws. It just had to deal something to do with who died for your sins. Go ahead. Just skip down to 15. Go ahead.
Wherefore the Holy Ghost also is a witness to us. For after that he had said before, This is the covenant that I will make with them after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws into their hearts, and in their minds will I write them.
Again, you don't have to go run to the priest no more. You don't have to do all that nasty stuff with the blood of bulls and goats and sprinkle it all over yourself and all over the altar and all that blood just everywhere. You don't have to do that no more. So, hey, what are you going to do with this new covenant? Hey, I'm going to plant it right here in your mind and in your heart. You're going to know right from wrong. Something that they obviously didn't have, because he gave it to us in this new covenant. You know, after he cut the high priest out, or cut Levi's high priest out for the time being, hey, you don't have nobody to go run to. It's right here. You got to do is listen to your what we call a conscience now. You know right from wrong. But go ahead, where we at?
17.
Mm-hmm.
And their sins and iniquities will I remember no more.
Mm-hmm.
Now where remission of these is, there is no more offering for sin.
Yeah, ain't nobody else coming to die for no more sins. It's done. So it's not going to be no more testament. You ain't going to have no newer testament or no oldest testament. There's only been two. Only been two different beings that died for the sins of man, and that's why you only have two. Call it old, call it new, call it first, call it second. It don't matter how you add it up. It's still, you know what was going on in the first testament, you know what was going on in the second testament. Let's go over to, let me skip down, pick it up to 26. Go ahead.
For if we sin willfully after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sin.
Nobody else gonna come and die for your sins no more. Go ahead.
But a certain fearful looking for of judgment and fiery indignation, which shall devour the adversary.
Go ahead.
He that despised Moses' law died without mercy under 2 or 3 witnesses.
You can dispose Moses' law died without mercy under 2 or 3 witnesses. Here, the world think they're gonna get from up under Moses' law. You're gonna die with some witnesses as well. It's just, hey, it's gonna be all at one time. All at one time. If you want to keep despising anything that you call Moses or his laws or what have you. Verse 29.
Of how much sore punishment suppose ye shall he be thought worthy, who have trodden under foot the Son of God, and have counted the blood of the covenant, wherewith he was sanctified an unholy thing, and have done despite unto the Spirit of grace.
Okay, let's go over to Hebrews 8. Back up to Hebrews 8. Let's start wrapping it up. We took a long way around the block just to, so we can find out what this New and this Old Testament is, what the covenant is all about, first of all, and the death of the testator. All in one, because people had different ideas. And I think I did this lesson some years ago. I gave a brother a lesson. I think I gave him a handout on dietary law. And he took it home and read it. And he brought it back, and he had all these markings on it, Old Testament, New Testament, by the verse. I'm like, what's all that for? I mean, this the Bible. What you acting like it don't matter or something because it's old or new? I mean, what that's supposed to mean? It's all good. It all go hand in hand. So, this lesson popped up today. Maybe it's because people don't even know what a testament is in the first place. Majority of us don't. Every time I talk to somebody now about it, that's just what they heard. Oh, the Old Testament. That's what people say. That Old Testament. I bet you, one guy talked to his barber about me all the time, one of my co-workers. I bet you hear Hebrew. Ask him is he saved and see what he says. Ask him. I'm like, boy, I just keep hitting him with some more scriptures. When he come back talking anyway, I just hit him with some more. Here goes some more to go talk to your Bible about since he in your ear, Well, Hebrews 8 and 7, go ahead when you get there, brother.
For if the first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second.
If the first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second. Which again, that's all Testament means, it's covenant, and so forth. So if Jesus would have came first off, then you wouldn't even have a New Testament. Why would you have? If he would have came right then in Moses' time and died for the sins of man, you would have had only one testament. It would have been a perfect testator, and you wouldn't have had no more died for the sins of man. But since he didn't do it that way, he chose to have us kill animals back then to be our testator. Then we just waited for his first coming and become our testator, and that's why that's a more perfect, that's why you needed a second one, because the first one wasn't perfect in the first place. Well, that if the first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second. Verse 8.
For finding fault with them, he saith, Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
Go ahead.
Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord.
He said, hey, I'm not doing it according to the same covenant I made with their fathers in the day which I took them out by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant. And I regarded them not, saith the Lord. So that wasn't working. You was going to the priest to say your sins, killing goats and stuff, then you turn back around to sin, had to bring something else to die. I mean, eventually you was broke. And then that never worked. Then the power of stoning people and killing people was in the hands of man. So he changed all that a little bit. But then you had somebody really judging you at that time as far as going to Levi, and they, the Lord told them, hey, this stands for death, that stands for death. Different things was death right there on the spot. They stoned you. So he said, hey, they ain't getting outrageous. Ain't nobody no cleaner than the other. So how they stoning? How somebody stoning somebody else and they all is acting crazy? So yeah, he had to switch it up a little bit, and he set that to the side because he said, I ain't gonna use the same covenant I made with their fathers in the day which I took them by the hand to lead them out of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant and regard him not, saith the Lord. For this covenant, this is the covenant what? What is this covenant?
For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people.
He even switched it up a little bit. He said, this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws in their mind. I'm going to write it in their hearts. And I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people. So really, there's no excuse, because each one of us know what we need to be doing. You know, like one of my teachers said a long time ago, if we didn't know, and we go in that bank and rob that bank, we'll just walk out the door with bags of money and police be everywhere, and we'll just keep walking. We wouldn't run. What we gonna run for? But no, you got some knowledge. You know you're doing wrong. So hey, you come outside, you ain't coming to walk. You running. You jetting as soon as you hit that door. You know why? Because you know, hey, there's some consequences behind it. I shouldn't be doing it. And you know up here. It's like a lot of other things that we know. You know, all this same sex stuff. I harp on that because that's a lot of new laws changing everywhere in the world and stuff. You know, they trying to make it seem like it's okay. But that's why people got to come out. Why? Because they know in their mind there's something wrong with this. If this was something that was supposed to be, we would know it at birth. We'll see a giant transgender. The doctor tell the mother, hey, you got transgender. I see it. You ain't got to wait to come out. You 18, 19, they are coming out. Well, wait a minute. You was just a girl. What you want to be a boy for, or vice versa? No. Something wrong with that. You know, but why is something in our mind? Somebody got to come out and do something and say something different. Why? Because, hey, it's right up here. And nobody got to go and tell you it's wrong. Hey, you know it's something wrong, even though if you don't know no truth. You know it's something awkward. Ain't nobody, you know, there's some people doing it, but it ain't like everybody else doing it. Well, let's move on. Let's go to Matthew, the 5th chapter. We finished that. We're going to wrap it up. Again, people think that, hey, the law done changed. The Old Testament ain't no more. But again, we go straight to the horse's mouth, and this should sum it up. Matthew 5 and 17. Go ahead when you get there, brother.
Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
What did Jesus say? Read that one more time. Maybe somebody didn't hear right. What did Jesus say?
Think not that I am come to destroy the law.
He said, think not that I am come to destroy the law or what?
Or the prophets.
Uh-huh.
I have not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
He said, hey, don't think that I came to destroy the law or the prophets. I have not come to destroy, but to fulfill. How you get out of this? You know, people come and interpret this, well, this ain't really saying what Jesus said. It straight out of his mouth. Don't think that. So if you're out there and you're thinking that, you need to stop thinking that and think about what Jesus is saying here. Verse 18, he's going to make sure that you know when not to think that. Verse 18.
For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled.
See, he's giving you a clue to know when this is still in effect. To think not. He said, for verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass. Till heaven and earth is gone, brothers and sisters. He said, not one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. 19.
Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whomsoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
You can think it's okay to break the Sabbath day or change the day if you want to believe that story, or eat what you want if you want to believe that story. But, you know, he letting you know there's going to be some consequences. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Let's go over to Psalm 105. We got a couple more after this. Sorry to take so long. I didn't even think I was going to be able to stand up here this long. You done got me pumped up today. Psalm 105 We're going to pick it up at verse 4. Psalm 105 and verse 4. Go ahead when you get there, brother.
Seek the Lord and his strength. Seek his face evermore. Remember his marvelous works that he hath done, his wonders, and the judgments of his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
O ye seed of Abraham, his servant, ye children of Jacob, his chosen.
Mm-hmm.
He is the Lord our God. His judgments are in all the earth.
Mm-hmm.
He hath remembered his covenant forever, and the word which he commanded to 1,000 generations.
Yeah, remember this covenant for how long? Forever. Until how many generations? 1,000. That's a lot of generations. You can't even count that back. I don't even think that website can count you back 1,000 generations.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I ain't never did the DNA thing. What they call it, historian or something? They got different sites that say they can trace you back. But I don't know. He's talking about 1,000 generations that he have commanded. This word he commanded. That's a lot of generations. Verse 9.
Which covenant he made with Abraham and his oath unto Isaac.
See, he's still pointing you back to that same covenant. He said he remembered the covenant. He remembered it. It's just the world that forgot the covenant. But what especially Israel, what they were supposed to do on their side of the street of this covenant. They didn't forget. I guess we done got used to feeling like we were just put here to get chastised and beat on or something. You know, we don't even care no more. He said he remembered his covenant forever, the word which he commanded to 1,000 generations, was covenant he made with Abraham and his oath unto Isaac, and did what?
And confirmed the same unto Jacob for a law.
He confirmed it to Jacob for a law, and to what?
And to Israel for an everlasting covenant.
For how long of a covenant?
Everlasting.
Everlasting covenant. So again, this covenant is still in effect to this day. You can throw away the Old Testament if you want to, but hey, you just might be just as well throwing away life. Eternal life, that is. Well, let's go over to Ecclesiastes 3. Ecclesiastes 3. I'll pick it up at verse 14. Ecclesiastes 3 and 14. When you get there, brother, go ahead.
I know that whatsoever God doeth, it shall be forever. Nothing can be put to it, nor anything taken from it. And God doeth it, that men should fear before him.
He's saying, hey, I know that whatsoever God doeth, it's going to be forever. That's all we've been reading. That this covenant is forever. You know, Solomon understood that. That's why he wrote this. I know that whatsoever God doeth, it shall be forever. Nothing can be put to it, nor anything taken away from it, and God doeth it, that men should fear before him. But you want to say, hey, that Old Testament is done away with, and this and that and the other. Hey, you don't understand what a testament is now. But if that was the case, then I'll throw verse 15 in there just for a bonus. That he say, you still there? I'm just going to read it. Go ahead, verse 15.
That which hath been is now.
Okay, so you want to say that Old Testament is done away with, you in the new generation. We letting you know that which has been is now. Same thing that was going on back then. Hey, he required it right now, today. Go ahead.
And that which is to be have already been.
If you want to know what's to come, you got to look back at what already been happening. That which have been is now, and that which is to be have already been. It already did. Ain't Solomon that wrote in other scriptures, ain't nothing new under the sun. But God requires what?
God requires that which is past.
He requires that which is past. So with that, I mean, that should be well over enough to show that you can't just throw away the Old Testament, except for the tithe. I got to throw that in there, because they'll keep that. Now, the whole Old Testament, they'll keep them tithes. They'll try to consider themselves someone to keep Psalm and Proverbs, but you can't still get around it. Even with that, you still can't get around that God's laws is done away with. One more place, Revelation 22, and this is it. Revelation 22 and verse 18. When you get there, brother, go ahead.
For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, God shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book.
See, you can be smart if you want to and think you're wise when they want to add something to it. They do that all the time too. That's why he let you know. He let you know back in Deuteronomy about the same thing. He told them back then, Moses told them. For I testify unto you that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book, if any man shall add unto these things, God shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. But what about the flip side? 19.
And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, God shall take away his part out of the book of life, and out of the holy city, and from the things which are written in this book.
Okay, that was the Old and New Testament, the death of the testator. I hope someone got some understanding in Jesus'